y'all. My name is Brooklyn Book Bell, and welcome back to my channel, y'all. I am bringing Brooklyn life, books, and all the things to the YouTube. Listen, I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all because people always be like, okay, but who are your go-to authors? Okay, and it took me a long time to kind of curate this list because I was like, I don't know. I think when you read a lot, right? Like you're ingesting a lot of stories. I think the ones that stand out, those are your kind of your go-tos. And it's really difficult for me to be like, I have standout authors and I read 200 books. Like that's ridiculous. I'm OD. Don't listen to me. Don't do what I do. I don't have a social life. I do have a social life, but I could be better if I would relax a little bit on the reading. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. So here we are. Also, these braids, you know how you get to the point where you just sick of having braids in your face? I'm sick of braids. Yes, they have helped me. I am appreciative, but I'll be doggone if I'm ready. Ready for me to go. How are y'all? Y'all, I can't believe November is almost over and it's almost December. This is craziness. This is absolute craziness. I am on my 185th book for the year. I literally only got 15 more to go. Woo! And it is going to be a wild ride. But I wanted to put this list together because I swear it's been in my drafts of things that I wanted to create since July. July. I'm ridiculous. Don't listen. Also, I'm drinking that Issa Rae champagne. Have y'all had it? Have y'all had it? Oh my goodness. I was watching High on the Hog with Curls in the Hood, Sheree, the other day, and it talked about like Madam C.J. Walker's daughter, the one who like lived in Harlem and was like a culture curator in Harlem. She only drank champagne and ate lobster. That is the life I want to attract. So I will be sipping on either coffee or champagne in all of my videos moving forward because why not? Are you really living life if you're not drinking champagne when you feel like it? I love me. I like some champagne. Okay, but I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. Y'all know I like to get it in, keep it sweet, keep it cute, do the things. And we're gonna get into this list of authors I must buy their book the day it comes out. Like when I say the day it comes out, if it comes out at noon, I will stop what I am reading, go get their book, read that book, and then flow back into whatever it was I was reading because that's how good they are to me. Listen, this is my list. We're all allowed to have opinions. Don't want y'all tussling in the comments, but these are the ones that I love. I love them. I put on for them. I'm a platform them. Okay? Why? Because I want to. All right, let's get into it. Number one, my girl, Asia Monique. Ha! I love that Asia Monique. I really do. I've met her once. She's an amazing human. Like her energy was just positive. Like I was like, wow, you're awesome. Her book is standing up on my shelf as it should. Okay. Not everyone gets their book turned around up here. Okay. She's right next to Leslie Esladale, who is one of my favorite authors. So Miss Asia, you're doing what needs to be done. I came across Asia's books, I guess you could say a couple years ago. But I think the ones that hit me the hardest and really made me a stand, I'm gonna give y'all some recs. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you who the author is, then I'm gonna tell you the recs that I think I would start off with if I was starting to read their books. Okay. The Love in Seattle series. I can remember how emotionally full I felt reading these four books. They follow four different brothers on their path to their happily ever after. And each book was so different. And each brother's story just kind of wrapped itself around my heart. Like I cried on TikTok about the Love in Seattle series. Like that's how good and like transformative her writing was to me. And I was balls to the wall. Like I was just like, oh my God, these books were so good. I read them in 2 days. All 4. Yep, all 4. I think the book that solidified it for me was And Then Life Was Beautiful. Another book that made me cry. Asia, why do you like to make me cry? I don't understand. you know? It follows like these two, they're not star-crossed lovers, but they're clearly adults doing adult things. And the adult things lead to adult situations. But there's always other things going around when you're involved in these adult situations. And the way that these two characters loved on each other and found a way forward, my Lord, it was beautiful. Like, I don't go read it. And every person that I have said, hey, if you're looking for a good book, read this book, they came back to me teary eyed, like, no, girl, that book did what needed to be done. And I'm like, no, it really did. It did. Yeah. So, and then Life Was Beautiful. That solidified it for me. But then she came out with Aries. And when the girls are saying that Black romance is not, I can't read it because because it has so much trauma. No, it doesn't. No, it actually doesn't. Asia Monique wrote Aries, and she literally in the foreword was like, this is just a boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, girl falls in love with boy, and then happily ever after that. Like, I loved it. It was so good. So if you're saying, I need Black romance with no trauma, girl, stop. Here's one you can start with, Aries by Asia Monique. Thank you very much. Okay. Kudos to Asia Monique. I love her. Again, this is the Asia Monique Stan account. So she's my number one, like, who I'm finna buy immediately. And these are in no particular order. Sorry, I just wanted to say that. These are all in no particular order. I actually stand each of these authors / artists for very different reasons. And I just wanted to put a list together. These are in no specific order. Okay, number 2 on my list, and this is just in the series that I wrote them. Okay. And she has a special place in my heart. AJ Locke, Black paranormal, Black romantasy. Okay, y'all better get into AJ's catalog. Y'all already know I stand her in every video I talk about her. I met her today. Okay, she was like, "Hey, I have something for you." I was like, "For me?" And she was like, "Yes, for you." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "How can I get it?" She was like, "I'm gonna mail it to you." Things happened on her end. She was like, "Hey, I couldn't mail it out." I'm like, "It's fine. You were giving me something. It's totally fine. No problem. No pressure, girl." She said, "But hey, I'm looking at your address. You live pretty close. Can we like meet up?" Y'all, I met up with her today, and she gave me a book box for The Vanishing Tide. And we had the most delightful conversation. Like, ooh, so great. Okay, but this is an AJ Locke Stan account. So the books that I would tell you to read immediately, okay? Y'all know I'm starting off with Elemental Inferno. I talked about it in last month's reading wrap up. It is an amazing book. It's about different seasonal auroras and kind of like how they live an immortal life, but they can only have sex in their season that they are the aurora for. One aurora comes along and he can control all the seasons, and he falls in love with another aurora, and child, you talk about some romance, some romantasy, honey. That book was spicy. Oh, it was spicy, and I loved it. Y'all better go read it. The Vanish Witch is also an amazing book, which I just got the sequel to. It follows like a witch that has vanishing capabilities, and we don't know where she's vanishing the things to, but we know that they're going somewhere until she vanishes her boyfriend, and a few weeks later vanishes herself. We don't know how all of this came about. We just know that above or wherever they were in their regular timeline, life, whatever, that the magic is disappearing. Well, when they get to where they're going, they find it, and now it's her job to bring it back. Very great book, very great book. And Magic Dark, Magic Divine was my first book by this author, and it had an amazing magical system, magical creatures, and it took place in New York. What more can I say to get y'all to go follow and support AJ Locke? It's okay. I'm gonna keep talking about her books and raving about how amazing they are until y'all go do what I say. Go read her books. Okay. Next on the list is Shanee, and let me tell y'all something. I just have to laugh at myself for how quick I download Shanee's books whenever they come across my timeline. I don't have alerts, so I'm not a person who has like alerts set up for any author. Like, I like for books to come to me literally organically. If I see your book and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting, I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna read it. Shanee I think I came across her books in 2021, maybe 2022. I'm pretty sure it's 2021. And I literally have been hooked ever since. Like, I pray monthly that she comes out with a new book. Now I don't want to pressure this lady, but I want a new book. Can I have it? Okay, so Impromptu Date by a Billionaire was a part of the Billionaire baby romance series, and it was one of the only ones I gave a 5-star to. Like, our good sis came in and did what needed to be done. I just want to let me see. Yes. Okay. Yes. 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 Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. She is okay. Impromptu Date. She ended up falling for the man who owns the escort service, because her business was too big and too prominent for her to get like an escort um from the regular pool of escorts. So she got the owner. Mm. Oh, it was good. Yeah, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It was so good. Okay, the second one that I would recommend is Conflicted Heart. And it's conflicted because two sets of twins had married each other. So one of the brothers married one of the sisters, one of the brothers married one of the sisters. In the couples, one of the partners died literally on the same day. It was a mess. The two siblings that were left were the opposite, right? So one of the brothers, one of the sisters, and they ended up moving in together to raise the children, right? Because the woman had just given birth, and the guy's partner, the other twin, had just given birth. The girls were pregnant at the same time, and y'all, mm, mm, mm. The things that man did to that woman in that house. Mm. I'm blushing thinking about it. Shanee does not hold back when it comes to heated fellowship. She just does not. Like, she's all pedal, all gas, pedal to the floor, no stops. Mom, if you're seeing this, just know that I love you. You know how, because I'm really being reckless. The third one is Can't Resist This Complicated Love. And I think this was the first book that I read from her catalog. And I read the book, and I can remember 3 days later, I had to read it again. And I don't go back and reread books. I have a pretty good memory most of the time. If I read a couple lines of the synopsis, I can remember what happened. But I've read that book like 5 times. Can't Resist This Complicated Love. Yes. So the parents got married um as the kids were like graduating from high school, and they had this like one night affair, of course, because now it's like, well, we kind of step siblings, but we're adults at this point, and they go off and they do their own thing, but they still ended up falling in love, y'all. It's an accidental baby. Go read the book. It's one of my favorites. It's so good. It's so good. I love me some Shanee. I always stand on business when it comes to Shanee. Say what I said. Um, moving. Okay, next to the next author. This is another author I will stand on business for. AshleyNicole. I stalk her. It's really bad. Now, she's one of the authors I'd be like, did she come out with a new book? Just go check and see, because she has this series, the Mason family series, and I say it all the time. She's like our modern day, and I say modern day, even though Brenda Jackson is modern day, but I mean older than us. But she's our modern day Brenda Jackson. She is out here pumping us a family of fine black men as each of them gets the love of their life, and we're waiting on the last cousin Taylor because she's the only girl in the cousins. Y'all, it's 21 cousins. 21. We're gonna get 21 books. We better get 21 books. I mean, okay, no pressure. Hopefully, prayerfully, we're gonna get 21 books. You're the One I Want is the first Mason book that I read, and so that's where I would say start. And yeah, it's a ragtag family that likes to play like spades, and they always at each other's house. This is the kind of family I like. Okay, it's not put on. It's not doing too much. They live in the South. Like, they're relatable. Okay. And I like relatable love. I also like billionaires who kidnap women. So you can see like balance. But if you are looking for a series that like you can invest in and really like get to know the characters, and you get to check up on them every now and again, the Mason series is where it's at. Take Me to Church. This is the second book that I would recommend. Take Me to Church. Y'all, it's a past The main character is a pastor, a fine pastor, a young pastor, okay? And what the Spirit of the Lord does in this book. I mean, listen, I'm not going to go into detail, nor am I going to be sacrilegious, but all I'm saying is that man could make me a first lady any day, especially the way that he remembers his wife's coffee order and bought a warmer for her nightstand. I'll never forget that. Go read it. It's the care that he takes of this woman that I think is the standout part of the book. Him being a pastor is just secondary. That's his job. That's his calling. But the love that the two main characters had, chef's kiss. The last book that I'm going to say about AshleyNicole is At Dusk. Y'all, she wrote like a thriller with black people in it. Oh my God. Look at that. People out here writing things that y'all say they don't, because the people love to say, well, I couldn't find a black author that wrote that. You weren't looking. You weren't looking. Okay, I'm sick of y'all and your bad excuses, because a thriller by a black author, At Dusk by AshleyNicole, exists. There's a killer on the loose. Oh, and it's a little bit of romance thrown in. And it actually, the mystery and like the thriller part of the book did not like the romance didn't take away from the thrilling part of the book, if that makes sense. Like, you still knew that this was a thriller, you still knew something bad was going to happen or could happen. And as much as these two characters were falling in love, you were more focused on who has the gun, what's happening. What's happening? That's all I'm gonna say. So the three books by AshleyNicole were Take Me to Church, You're the One That I Want, the Mason Family Saga, and At Dusk. Listen. I'm out here doing the Lord's work by giving y'all these recs, because I feel like we all got to be on one accord with supporting black authors. Yes, we do. Okay, Dreia Wells is the next author that I'm going to platform because I bangs with her. Now, Dreia, okay, Dreia is in a class all of her own. I really bangs with, and I want to make sure. Okay, so she says she's a writer of all things supernatural. I would agree. She says she's the queen of crazy that loves to give her readers plot gasms and so much more. She's from Houston and lives in England with her husband and her son. I love a woman with an interesting life. I really do. Okay, let me give you some recs from Miss Dreia Wells. Okay, we're gonna start with my favorite, and I'm sorry, this is my favorite. Going Down Smooth. It's an Omega Verse novel. If you don't know what an Omega Verse is, I say go Google it. Go look that thing up. But it's a world where there are alphas, omegas, and betas, and the omegas are kind of at the bottom of the totem pole in society. And the omega belongs to a pack of alphas. It's a why choose romance. That's all I'm gonna say. And I gave it 5 stars, and I still think it's one of my favorite books. And there's a part 2, and we're getting a spinoff with the main character's best friend, and her name's Freya. Y'all know how I feel about things with Freya in it. Okay. The second book by Dreia Wells is Unshaken, Hellnight Academy Book 1, which is how I got introduced to Dreia, her catalog. I was looking for something paranormal. I definitely wanted black characters. And the main character's parents are like professors at an angelic academy, but she doesn't get in. And she doesn't understand why she's not getting in until she gets an invite to Hellnight Academy. Angelic Academy, Hellnight Academy. Draw your own conclusions. But this cast of characters was like nothing I have ever read before. Like, I've never read anything written like this. Like, I was so intrigued by these characters. Like, what is happening? And it becomes a why choose romance as well, which is like, normally big casted books, like with large casts, normally wear me out because my ADHD is like, I can only follow 3 people. 3 people is my max. Hellnight, following 12. But here we are, and it was good. It was good. And I think we're getting a spinoff from the Hellnight series as well about the Blue Mountain Witches. Sign me up. I want to see. That's what I'm saying. I want to see. And then the last one by Dreia that I'm going to talk about is Chosen, Owenson Witches Book 1. And what happens when your ancestor makes a deal with the devil that one of her descendants is going to have to marry the devil one day. And he comes a knocking, okay? He comes a knocking, he comes a calling. He knows that you're the one he's supposed to be with. Well, that's what happens in Chosen. You heard what I said. She comes from a family of witches, a coven. They're one of the most powerful families. Their distant relative, the matriarch of the family, long, long ago, made a deal with the devil. If he saved her current family, that one day one of her descendants would marry the devil. And it's all about them trying to undo this curse. Some of the family are shifters, some of them are witches. The shifters protect the witches because they never know which one the devil's going to call. Y'all, again, not being sacrilegious, I do understand some people get kind of iffy about angels, demons, devils, all the things, but this book has all the things, and I found it very entertaining, and I would say go try it. Don't knock it till you try it. Okay. My last author that I'm going to say is a must read the day she writes a book. Every time. Every time. Kema B. Kema no. Kema no. I talked to her on Twitter like we're friends. We're friends in my head. I've never met her in person. But I talk to her like I have. And that's okay. She is literally an author that every one of her books just makes me smile. Like, they make me warm, they make me cuddly, they make me hopeful. They're the type of love that I would want. And I feel like in a romance author, like that's the type of like feeling you want your readers to have. You want them to feel like this is the type of love I see myself having. Starting with book number 1, What You've Been Missing. Sosa. If you follow me on social media, you know I love me some Sosa, and I scream it to the tops of my lungs every time. He is my favorite book boyfriend because he was sexy, he was sweet, he was a protector, okay? He was clear in his intentions, okay? He didn't play no games. I bangs with that. The thoughtfulness, the care, the concern, the consideration. I love men written by Black women. I really do. Like we get it. Like if more men read more Black romance, I'm just saying, I think a few things could be fixed. That's what I'm saying. Free Game is the book that's connected to What You've Been Missing. It is about the leading lady from What You've Been Missing sister and the rapper Freedom. And I don't think any of us have ever woken up and been like, you know what? I don't want a rapper to fall in love with me. Lies. And Freedom is that nigga. Yes, I said it. He's such a good book boyfriend too. Like Kema, you write good men in your books. And they stand out. They're memorable. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. And the last one is If You Let Me. Kema got into her erotica bag with If You Let Me. I wasn't mad. I wasn't. It was a part of like a 3-book series, and like it was sexy, it was exciting, it was passionate. Like, yeah, I'm just thinking back. I'm just thinking back. Y'all know I don't like to give y'all too much about these books, but after a vindictive ex causes her to lose her dream role, Tahiri, her girls dare her to accompany them on a sinful night at a private sex club, and hoping to check out a few things off her bucket list, help her forget her troubles. It opens up a Pandora's box. It does. Because going with your friends, trying to get over something, and you just happen to end up at a sex club, I'm pretty sure something's going to happen. I'm pretty sure some sort of box will be open. Um, yeah. Listen, every one of these authors, y'all, like have 5-star ratings on my Goodreads and my story graph. Like I bangs with them heavy. Like I would not try to steer y'all wrong. I am just a humble reader who wanted to share her favorite must read day release authors. Like these are them for me. As you can see, they cross a lot of the genres. Each book is different, okay? And I don't know, when we think about like stepping out of our comfort zone and being like, what can I read? What can I like try new? Read a new like genre. Read some of the romantasy. Read some of the erotica. Read some of the fantasy stuff, like the Omega verse stuff. Like these are words that like I didn't even know what they were until I just started randomly like coming across things on my Kindle Unlimited and being like, I read that, I'll try. So, as we finish off our year and we're preparing for what we're going to do in the new year, here is my submission to all of you. Please take a look at each of these authors' pages. I've listed them down below. I will also put a list together in my Amazon storefront. So if you want to just be directly connected to the books or you want to support me, all the books will be there. And take a risk. You know what I mean? Like, throw out all of your preconceived notions about what Black books look like, what they feel like, what they sound like, how they're written, and all the things. Give a new author a try. Do it. Do it. And please, in the comments, drop one of your favorite authors. I will read. I will try. I want to learn me something new. Okay? All of my book friends, like the ones who like I'm super close with in like my real life, who I text about books and all the things, they put me on books constantly. I will read anything. Okay? So please, 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 if you have made it this far in the video, I want you to drop a stack of books down below. But also with that stack of books, put your favorite book. I would love to come back and do a video about what my readers are reading and what I found through you all. This is such like a conversation. This is not just me talking to y'all. I love to talk to y'all. And that concludes today's video. I hope to see you all soon. And until next time, bye.